Welcome into a brand new episode of WSI TV. Enjoy the show.
Welcome into another Friday edition of WSI TV. That's Sean Bauer, I'm Jordan Bishop, and today we're going to talk about the hidden profit play that the experts are consistently overlooking. Now, obviously, the experts cover many different industries. They think they know everything about every single sector in the stock market and financial markets. But today, we want to turn our focus to the gun sector, mainly talking about gun and firearm stocks.
Right, when the unfortunate events that just happened in Vegas actually occur, of course, it's not something we like to talk about, but it is something that affects the financial markets, the financial world, and could affect your money. So it's our job here to make sure our members are ready to invest the right way, to protect themselves, to profit, and just to know how to navigate these situations, even whenever it's something as dark as, of course, what just happened in Vegas. But of course, it all really revolves around the investment patterns and how they relate to gun stocks.
Right, and talking about gun stocks, you know, when these unfortunate events happen, obviously people flock to the fear side of things. You know, they start buying guns, you know, buying ammunition, all that. But basically, what the experts recommend is that you invest into these gun stocks when this happens. But it's actually a very short-term play, as we've seen. And we just sort of want to walk you through the timeline of what happens when fear creeps in. When regulations creep in, starting with, you know, back towards the election we recently had.
Yeah, I mean, the week, I think, leading up to the actual election, we saw Hillary was almost a sure thing to get in. Because of that, because of the Democrats keeping the White House, and the high potential for more gun control regulation, people were flocking to buy their guns before the regulation could actually set in. So stuff like that sends the stock prices higher for these gun companies. Then we saw Trump actually get elected, and the stock prices plummeted because there's no danger of these actual regulations being set in place. So there's no hurry to go get these guns. There's no impending danger that you couldn't buy them in the near future. And then we see something like, you know, Pulse nightclub in Orlando, what just happened in Vegas, unfortunately. That's going to be a push for more regulation. That's going to send people buying their guns again and sending those stocks up. But like you said, it's a very short-term thing.
Right. Yeah. It seems that these gun stocks react, you know, immediately, and then the following days they just forget about that day or whatever. Like going back to the election, that, as you said, gun prices were rising as it looked like Hillary was being voted into the White House. But actually, on the last couple of days of that week, it must have been the last day, actually, November 7th, Ruger lost 28% of its stock value when Trump was being elected. American Outdoor Brands, which used to be Smith & Wesson, they lost 26% of their stock value. So as you can see, you know, it's very instant. And what we want to turn you to is something that the experts don't really talk about. We want to look at more of ammunition, you know, more specifically the brand that manufactures and supplies Winchester ammunition, which is Olin, O-L-N. If you could tell us a little bit about that, Sean.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing we're looking at here is, instead of what all the experts are going to push you towards, which would be these American Outdoors, Ruger, these actual gun companies, all the experts are telling you to go there when something happens. We're saying to invest in what is traditionally a strong stock, and that ammunition plays a part in, but is only one segment of 3 or 4, where Olin is actually spread out across several different industries. They're into, I think, delivering chemicals. I think they're in the Northeast or something like that. Not super important. One segment is ammunition, so they do get the benefits that the traditional gun companies would have, but they don't have as much downside risk as the gun companies to something like regulation actually happening. Or whenever Trump was elected, we saw those gun companies shoot way down because people weren't rushing to get guns. Olin was actually still up. They've been climbing ever since, actually, and this is a really, really strong company. A bit of a hidden profit play in situations like this, whenever you don't really want to invest in gun companies like American Outdoor, we see Ruger. They're both very unhealthy stocks, especially over the long-term outlook. So maybe very, very short-term gains in situations like this for the gun companies. Long-term outlook, not great, but for something like Olin, where it's just one small segment of the company, that's a really strong long-term play.
Right, and just to compare Olin, going back to that election week, they actually finished 13% up when Ruger and American Outdoor Brands were sinking. So that really just goes to show, as you said, Sean, they're not at the mercy of fear of safety, and they're not at the mercy of the fear of gun control and regulations and all that. And just to shed some more light on Ruger and American Outdoor Brands, their charts look awful. I mean, I was looking at them earlier, and they're just, I think both of them are under the 200-day, or they've been chopping up and down, back and forth. It's like, and as technical analysts, looking at Olin, it's been climbing up its 200-day, its 40-week, and it looks like such a strong stock right now for when it does come back down into that buy trigger,
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the type of thing the experts don't want you to know, or more likely they don't know about themselves. They obviously cover a wide range of things, but they're all listening to somebody else who's listening to somebody else. It's like they're stuck in this big expert circle, and basically our job here is to pull you out of that and make sure you can profit off these hidden profit plays. Now, Sean, I want to thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of WSI TV. Be sure to visit WSITV.com, where you can subscribe for free with no contract and gain instant access to the secrets of self-made millionaires via the WSI TV Vault. So go ahead and claim this gift for free now at WSITV.com.